An elder sister came from the town to visit her younger sister in the country. This elder sister was married to a merchant and the younger to a peasant in the village.
The two sisters sat down for a talk over a cup of tea.
And the elder started boasting about the superiority of town life.
With all its comforts, the fine clothes her children wore, the exquisite food and drink, the skating parties, and visits to the theater.
The younger sister resented this and in turn scoffed at the life of a merchant's wife and sang the praises of her own life as a peasant.
I wouldn't care to change my life for yours, she said. I admit mine is dull, but at least we have no worries.
You live in a grander style, but you must do a great deal of business or you'll be ruined.
You know the proverb, loss is gain's elder brother. One day you are rich and the next you might find yourself out on the street.
Here in the country, we don't have those ups and downs. A peasant's life may be poor, but it's long.
Although we may never be rich, we'll always have enough to eat.
I've always felt as though literature is something that can bond people.
You can go through your whole life reading, but when you find that one book that opens your eyes or really hits home, it'll change your life.
Where I want to take you back to the 1890s. I want to take you to South Africa, where there was, in a village in South Africa, a young man living. He was searching for answers to questions about what he wanted to do with his life. How was he going to help make the world a better place? He was given a book to read. And the book was called The Kingdom of God is Within You by Leo Tolstoy. And the kingdom of God is within you is not only a devastating account of many of the injustices that exist in modern forms of government, but it's also an inspiring vision of the possibility of change. When you draw on something that Tolstoy called that divine spark that resides inside of every human being. And that message lit a fire inside this young man, because it was what he needed to hear at the time that he needed to hear it in his life. Eventually, this fire that was lit in him would spread to tens of millions of Indians, because the young man who read A Kingdom of God is Within You by Tolstoy at the age of 25 was, as probably everyone in this room knows by now, the future Mahatma Gandhi. So why do I begin with a story like that? This story illustrates for me one of the core principles that this class is founded on, and it's not something you hear a lot about today. And it's a simple idea that reading a powerful work of literature can change a person's life. Do you know what the stories that you're going to read are, or have you not found out about those yet? If you have an idea of an activity related to that week's reading that you think would be really interesting, let the students know, and they will definitely encourage you to do that. Students aren't teaching you. They're simply helping to generate the conversation and the questions, but your guys' input is really important. And the other thing I'll just remind you of is students are not experts either. I mean, they're not experts in Russian literature, so they're just figuring this stuff out. All I ask them to do is come prepared, but you know what? I'm asking you guys to come prepared too.
I think one of the reasons I wanted to take this course is that it would be very outside of my comfort zone and something that I had never done and probably would never have the chance to do again.
My hope is to work with incarcerated individuals. I really want to do like criminal justice reform stuff. And I think that getting comfortable with that population is very important.
I mean, just the biggest thing about this experience for me is how radically different it is from anything I would have ever thought I would be doing in college as a physics and engineering science major.
My dad was incarcerated off and on throughout my life, and my mom was a teen mom, so he was like incarcerated at this time frame, like in his age, and so I thought it would be a really cool experience for me to get to interact with them and learn about the situations that they're in.
So today is the one day that we have before we go to Beaumont that we have a chance to spend a full hour and 15 minutes just thinking and talking about this world that we're going to go into.
So this is all, I mean, I think the philosophy behind it is amazing, but how is that actually going to be in practice? Because there is a power dynamic. We have the freedom and privilege to go into their space. You know, they don't have the privilege to come to our classroom here. That there is something inherently like more powerful about us, more free. How do we get beyond that?
So is it possible that we can make them subjects, full subjects instead of objects? I don't want to answer that question. I want the group to think about this. Maddie?
I guess it goes back to the question of like, you know, how do you serve others, or how do you care about others? How do you show them that you care? Do you give them something, or do you like let yourself open to what they can give you, I guess, and what you can like exchange with them?
Just the nature of our circumstances, I don't feel like I'm more powerful going in, just because I think that is a kind of nullifying force, that we are constricted a little bit by fear in a way that they're probably not.
Gage?
This is like, I guess, just a super obvious answer, but like, we're both also students of the literature. Like, I don't feel like I've got a strong grasp on any of it. Like, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, we just go in, we openly discuss, and I mean, we learn it together. We learn each other's opinions. You get a fresh take on it. So in that regard, too, we're both on similar playing fields.
On a more personal note, and Professor Kaufman and I talked about this, my mom is incarcerated. Though my mom and I have a weird relationship, like, I know my mom, and I know she's a person, and I know she has a good heart. And then to transport myself in her shoes and be like, what is she experiencing? Like, what is she going through? And I have a vague idea of it, but like, I'm never gonna fully understand.
I'm really glad you shared that too, because this really gets at the heart of what Books Behind Bars is about. Ultimately, we don't really know people. Ultimately, we see people from a certain perspective, from our limited point of view, from our own cultural biases, etc. So much of what we're doing is about what we do in any literature class, which is trying to find common ground. How do you find a common ground of conversation about things that all human beings share, in spite of the many, many differences among people?
I like your sports coat.
Oh, thank you. You don't see those very often. This is Maya. I'm a guest at somebody's home. I dress a little more nicely. Oh, wait. Oh. He has a really tough kid, right?
Cái gì vậy ta?
Ready? All right, guys. We're here. So Chris, how are you doing over here? I'm Jack.
Today, the first thing I want to say is I want to thank the residents once again for being here. You guys were selected because the staff and your teachers at Beaumont believe in you and think that you'll not only benefit from this program, but that you'll also make a valuable contribution to it. So even before we begin, congratulations. Let me also say that in 10 weeks, when we're done with this program, and you all know each other really well, everyone in this room, UVA students and Beaumont residents included, will be able to say that they have read, not just heard of, but have actually read, that is if you do the reading, some of the greatest works of Russian literature. And so that is, and those are also the greatest works of world literature, so that is an accomplishment that you will all enjoy in 10 weeks. Let me say a few quick words about Tolstoy. He was about the age that he was in this picture when he wrote, "How much land does a man need?" But there's another little detail about Tolstoy that you also probably will want to know, because it's relevant to this story. He never felt successful. So this is a really extreme story, and it's a quirky story, but it gets at an issue that is at the heart of the story you read for today. It's an issue that I think every single person in this room can relate to, and that is the question, how much is enough? How much money is enough money? How much success is enough success? How much fame is enough fame? And Tolstoy's answer, after all those years of struggle, is maybe a lot less than we thought we need. But that's a question for you guys to think about. And these are the kinds of things that we talk about in this program. We use literature as an opportunity to talk about life issues that are relevant to all of us, that are universal.
Before it started, I was thinking, man, I don't know how these people are gonna see us, you know. We're in a Beaumont Correctional Center. Correctional Center. That's the word that stand out when you say, it doesn't stand out. Beaumont don't stand out. It's Correctional Center, you know. So these guys are here for crimes, violent crimes, you know what I mean? So I came in here with that mentality. I'm like, all right, let's see what's gonna happen though.
The first thing we asked was, would anyone want to give a summary of kind of what they thought the story was about? And Dakota immediately piped up and was like, yeah, I'll do it. And he gave a phenomenal summary that I was like immediately kind of blown away and like, all right, this is not what I was expecting.
I was worried that, it was going to be us trying to be seen as like coming in and teaching them something, and I don't think that's how it was at all. I mean, they were much more comfortable in the space, and I think that we ended up talking about things that they knew more about. They talked about their lives. We talked about like their experiences living in the facility, in their units, all these like terms that I hadn't necessarily heard before that they were teaching me about what it's like to be, living in these facilities.
I was expecting them to come in here be scared or look down on us yeah, they're criminals. I expect a whole nother thing there to be every time we say something, or I didn't expect for us to be able to connect our life is the same. In some ways we had to struggle with the same problems. So.
I think the car ride back for me was a little different. I guess for me, it was then that I started feeling more emotional about it and more, I guess, sad, because it's like, all right, I'm going back to my life, and they're still there, they might not be in that room anymore, but they're still behind those barbed wires. And I think that for me was really hard.
So let's first get the name of the author right. His name is Lev Nikolaevich Tolstoy. Try that. Lev Nikolaevich Tolstoy. And the main character's name is Ivan Ilyich Golovin. Ivan Ilyich Golovin. Tolstoy was 45 years old when he went through a major midlife crisis. He went on this long search to try to figure out what in the world he was doing with his time on this earth. And he framed the question this way. He said, is there any meaning to my life that will not be destroyed by my death? Is there any meaning in my life that will not be destroyed by my death? He had done a lot of things. He had written a lot of famous works. He was wealthy. He had 1,000 acres of land. But what he realized is none of those things he could take with him. So he came to the conclusion that if there is any meaning in his life that can't be destroyed by his death, it's got to be in those things that death cannot destroy. In his relationships, in his connection to other human beings, in the seeds that he plants in others. Those are the things that would survive him when he is gone. And those are the things that Ivan Ilyich never thinks about except literally in the last few days of his own life. And I want you to think about your own lives as you're talking about the story, and think about what are the things that you want to do in your futures? What are the relationships that you want to create? The seeds that you want to plant? The things that you want to create that will ensure that your life has meaning that will not be destroyed by your own death. So enjoy it, think about it, have a good discussion.
He spent his whole life trying to impress other people or be wanted or approved by other people, and who tells us a big house is what we really want? I mean, we see somebody else with it. How do you know that's what you want for real? You don't until you see somebody else. And he just tried to be like higher officials and stuff like that. And it's kind of ironic how the only person that really came to him, comfort him, was his servant.
Yeah. Have you guys had similar experiences where you're doing something like Ivan because it's the right thing to do, not because you actually want to do it, or it's not making you happy, but you feel like you should?
Yeah, this one was just I did so many things wrong. And it was basically one thing wrong, because all he did was want all this
But if you think about it,
thing.
he really didn't do anything wrong, though.
I'm about to say, that's not why he died.
Why did he die? Yeah.
But think about it, in your mind, it's wrong. If you didn't want to do it, it was wrong.
But he did want it. But he wanted that apartment. He wanted that job, you know?
Yeah, but he did it all for other people's approval.
But at that time, even if it was unintentional, that's what he thought he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he thought he wanted it, but at the end, I think he realized, I just didn't need any of that.
He didn't need it.
We made a tombstone for Ivan Ilyich. Death by kidney failure / spiritual starvation. And 3 things that would have been listed on his tombstone. So we are going to do this for ourselves. If you design our own tombstone.
19 years old, death by overdosage, songwriter / musician, great father, son, and friend, author. I'm in the middle of writing a book.
You are?
I swear to God I am.
That's awesome.
It's not very good, but it's awesome. I don't know how that makes sense, but it does. Survived by mother, father, 3 brothers, 2 sisters, daughter, and friends.
I didn't know you had a daughter.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I don't talk about it very much.
Beloved brother, uncle, and son. I think a lot about what my parents think of me, especially my father. Humble, outspoken. Love to play sports, like kids, traveling. I said a successful businessman. I ain't that yet, but I just want to be successful so I can take care of my kids, my family, do what I got to do.
I got that class going.
Go ahead with that. Survived by parents, sisters, and loved ones. It's just kind of weird, I don't picture myself. Cause I got a sister and she got Down syndrome, so I've always looked out for her,
Right.
Take her to class, walk her everywhere. I mean, I do all stuff for her all the time. And it's if I was to die today, who would be there to pick up my slack? You feel me? It's weird. But yeah, pass it on.
Great. But I originally climbed Kilimanjaro, which is a mountain.
Second time.
Yeah, it's one of the tallest mountains in the world.
Awesome.
So I climbed it, but I actually don't really care that much about it.
You climbed it for real?
Yeah, I climbed it. It was just a cool thing to put on a tombstone. But I look back and I'm like that's not that indicative of.
Was that meaningful to you?
Yeah, I mean it was cool, but did it really bring me joy?
Y'all do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I was climbing mountains.
I do so much.
Argotti and.
I feel if I really knew you guys on the street, I'd be like, yo, let's go to the store, let's go get some alcohol. I'd be like, no, let's go feed the homeless and go to a homeless shelter for dogs and go adopt 10 puppies.
Are you jealous or are you mad?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's
Are you
just-
mad or no?
Don't do a lot. I wish I could do all that stuff.
Thanks to everyone for doing this. This is awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
It's kind of draining emotionally. Like for me, I don't know, that was hard to do. How did it feel doing this after reading this story?
I guess just not wanting to be in the same situation as him, like not looking back and regretting how we lived or wish we could have lived it a different way. I mean, more like wishing I could be content with what I've done. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to fix it on my deathbed.
This story and like this talk especially has helped make, you know, it's just it's something you know, like don't talk about when you're 20 years old. You know, no one wants to talk about it.
I think about death almost every day. I don't know why, I just do.
Like your death or just like other people's deaths?
My death. I talked about it with my dying godfather, Jesse, on his last day. I was talking to him about death and it really wasn't bothering me. He was ill and he was dying and I was just talking to him like a regular person. When I first got locked up, and even before I got locked up, I was not happy with the way I'm living, but I'm slowly starting to understand what life is all about. I thought life was all a joke, and I thought life was dumb, and I thought about dumb shit like suicide, like that. So I mean, but now I'm in the middle, because I am locked up, but yeah, I do have family that loves me, and I never believed that until I still have a hard time believing it, but so I don't know, I got family that loves me, and I'm still doing my music even though I'm locked up, and that makes me happy. So that's about it. Because sometimes I just think that my life is just over, but then I just realize it's just a small step. If it's not going to matter in 7 years, then what does it matter now? So I think about it, and I'm like, one day I plan to be just as successful as anybody in this room, and I think that, and when I die, Yvonne died, I think it'll be a happy death.
Basically, it's the exact opposite of how we're in class sometimes. It depends on who you're around. I mean, people keep their barriers up. They try not to open no doors. In class, it's, like I say, a comfort zone. It's the same for everyone. I guess we all just fall into some type of sink. But otherwise, if you're in here, it's just like, oh, you get your 3 hots and a cot. You know what I'm saying? You get your mail, your phone call. But everybody's just either trying to go home or not trying to go home. You fall into your own categories.
Every day of the week, besides Tuesday, it's a routine. I get up, go to work in the morning, down in the kitchen, come back, do my hygiene again. Same thing over and over, over and over, over and over.
We have a set schedule. On Tuesdays we have outside, and that's the only thing we get to do, other than go to school. Then Wednesday we have a half a day of school from 8 to 12. Then we have little treatment teams where they discuss our behavior and our release plans. And then Thursdays, we don't have nothing to do except go to school and sit on the unit and watch TV. Friday, the same thing. Saturday and Sunday, we're on the unit all day.
Your unit, just a big room with it depends on how many people it is. You can fit up 21 people, but if you're lucky, you get 15, 14. So it wouldn't be too much going on around you. And you can always just chill.
I'm used to it. I'm the vice president of my unit, so I try to keep everything together or whatever. It's bad. Don't get me wrong, it's bad, but it's got good things. Like you be together. We go out there, we play together ball, basketball, or on the unit, we play everything. We do everything together, but and then it has those moments where people arguing about the fight. And
it's depressing. When you go in your room, all you see is cinder brick walls and a stainless steel toilet and stuff you have in your room. It makes you want to think a lot, since all you have is an 8x8, so 8x12, whatever it is.
You walked into my cell, what would you see? I'm in a 2-man room, so I have a roommate. We got bunk beds, but it's center blocks. So you go in there and it's you got your little tote, got rid of all your clothes, but just like, I don't know, you see pictures, we try to put a lot of pictures on the wall, so you wouldn't think like I'm locked up. Like the worst thing about being in the room, I got a roommate, but when I was in a single man cell, it was like, yo, being here by myself, and then we'd be staying down, or you hear the door close and you know like, yo, I gotta wait till somebody come open this door. Like, that's like the worst. Like when you really think about it, cause usually you don't try to think about it, but then when you in there, you ain't got nothing to do, and then you be like, dang, I'm in here, I'm stuck, what I'm gonna do now?
I mean, what we call that is being institutionalized. You know what I mean? You can't get your mind, you know, get incarcerated too when you are incarcerated. You know, hopefully that makes sense. So when you're in here, like the cycle you go through, like some people just get used to it. And like when you go on the outside, that's when you probably end up like brushing your teeth with your finger because you know the toothbrush we got here is really small. You know, but the point is to not let your mind get like that. Don't let your mind get incarcerated just because you are incarcerated. You know what I'm saying?
Coming to classes like this gives us a chance to escape the unit when we don't normally leave the unit. So we're not stuck staring at a wall. We can interact with other different people.
With the class, you learn new things. I learned something new every class. Get a new experience, a new feeling. Every class, new thoughts. And that's not routine. I don't know. I don't know. I do look forward to that class every Tuesday.
Well, let's start with what you guys found interesting.
All right, to a poet.
To a poet? All right.
I like that. I think I like to a poet better.
You do?
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
It is.
My questions were, do you live for you or is it from someone else? That's one question. You can go around if you want.
I definitely think that praise motivates me. And so in that sense, I'm not living for myself. Growing up, I was raised to like forge my own identity and be this, you know, huge, important person. And there is some merit to just like being a functioning cog and serving a larger purpose. I don't know.
I want to do something that is not like for him or you or her, or I want to do it for me.
So what makes you happy?
Playing basketball. Honestly. Or writing.
Writing?
Yeah, it's not
You
bad.
should.
For real?
Yeah, totally. Totally.
I got the poems too.
Yeah?
Poems.
Oh, you shared them.
I did one of them last night. I couldn't.
Which one did you do last night? That one?
That one, it was kind of like, run like 5 minutes. I couldn't go to sleep without it.
Oh, I like this. That's awesome. That's really good. Jalen, these are so good.
Thank you.
So talented.
Let me see this one.
I'm jealous. That's awesome that you write one every day. My New Year's resolution was to write more. Didn't happen. I've written my journal 3 times, so.
I can't, see, I can do this, but I can't start like a day-to-day journal.
You can't keep one?
I don't
No,
know
it's
why.
so boring.
I want to.
Like today I ate this. Okay, so when I went to Europe, we took, I was like, I'm gonna keep a journal because my grandma told me to, which was so annoying. And by the end, it was literally just like a food diary. It was like, here's what I ate for breakfast.
Classic.
Here's what I ate for lunch. Like nothing about experience, literally just diary food.
That's really cool. When did you start writing?
Yeah.
Got locked up for real.
Really? For me, I use letters a lot, to communicate with my mom, and my parents, my dad, especially when I was diagnosed with MS my first year in college, and so I think it was really hard for my mom. She was there that day, but then had to leave me to go home, and that was really hard for her to and so she wrote me a letter, and we kind of talked through that, and so yeah, I think just any form of writing just makes it so much easier to get into what you want to say.
I'm a lot more honest with my writing too than I feel that I could be in a face-to-face. Yeah, absolutely.
This is all my thoughts. I couldn't say this to anybody for real. I had to put it out there so you can hear it and feel it. It's like, I don't know, words just come to me as I go. Like, I don't get it. Like, I can just be talking and
Just come to me, I'm a
just
prophet.
comes, like, I don't know. Things don't get it writing though. Cause I'm always thinking about some creative mind, I guess.
The other night, I tried to go to sleep, but I had something in my head, like I had a title of a poem and like some words to start off the poem in my head already, and I couldn't go to sleep until I finished the poem. I really couldn't lay down and close. I couldn't go to sleep peacefully without finishing the poem. I had to finish the poem before I went to sleep.
When I first started writing poetry, I really couldn't write that much because I couldn't really think. But if I just sit down alone, I can really like spill my head out and all my heart and all my words I've been thinking and just put it all together. When I'm writing it, it hurts like sometimes when I write deep stuff, but once I get it out, it's all relieved. 18 years old and my rhymes keep me sane. 18 years old, I see bullets and brains. 18 years old and my story's been told. Anything can happen when you're 18 years old. Dad went to the desert before I was born, a Gulf War fighter in a desert storm. Came back sick, now he can't get paid. He used to love life, now he loves hate.
I'm no poet, prophet, I'm just a kid, writing down what happens every day I live. Hoping things change, but my days could be few. Mom would be sad if I made the news. 18 years old, my rhymes keep me sane. 18 years old, I see bullets and brains. 18 years old, my story has my story been told. Anything can happen when you're 18 years old.
Come on, buddy.
I'm gonna take you to the park. All right, who are you gonna play with today? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
1, 2. Oh.
So good.
I did do 1, 2.
Yeah, I know.
But not 3.
Oops.
Sorry?
Somebody that likes to play with me. Somebody.
For many years, as a teacher of literature, I was trying to create a classroom which felt alive to me and authentic. So I tried out many different approaches. During this period, I happened to be invited to do a workshop in a prison. I'd never been to a prison before, and it was one of the most powerful classroom experiences of my life. So I thought, why not create a class at UVA where my students would be put into a similar kind of environment? Doesn't matter if you're a 20-year-old college student or a 20-year-old youth, in a correctional center. You know what it feels like to lose someone you love. You know what it feels like to struggle with family situations. You know what it feels like to try to search to find your place in a world that doesn't always make that easy. Those are the issues of Russian literature, and those are universal. I have found that they connect with these themes at a visceral level. They know what it means to lose their freedom. That's not an abstract question to them. They're incarcerated.
Just a chance to talk to all the college people and stuff like that, and just to actually interact with people that are our age, and they might not have lived our life, our type of life, because we're criminals and stuff like that, but they might have the same feelings, you know what I mean, because they're still people, and this book or all the books kind of link, even though they lead different lifestyles, it links all of us together, And I would just say that it's really interesting just to see other people's points of view.
You sort of come together over this sort of static text, something that was written hundreds, 50 years ago, that's unchanging in a sense. It can't be altered. And yet, what can be altered, what can be changed is the conversations that happen because of it. Things that are difficult to talk about, things that you don't talk about in everyday conversation. What does it mean to serve another person? What does it mean to enable another person? What does it even mean to kill another person? That these things are so part of our lives, so part of our human experiences, and we just don't talk about them ever.
We are, we're reading Matrona's Home, or we're talking about Matrona's Home. It's about a sweet old lady who is like kind of taken for granted by everyone around her, and it kind of details her relationship with the narrator. And to me, they seem like a little odd couple, but like they get along very well.
Yeah, like our general kind of goals is to talk about like empathy, family, hardship, and just kind of like having respect and appreciation for like the people in our lives.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're going. And we think that like all of them kind of tie in together. Because like you can look at the character of Matrona and think about how people are like either empathetic to her or grateful for her or appreciate her, things like that. And we're hoping to take like those like key themes and core ideas and try to think about them in our own lives and like who we're thankful for or appreciative for, thinking about like our own like maternal or like motherly figures in our lives.
So like who, do you guys have anyone in your life that, maybe not to this degree, but like reminds you of these just like selfless, unneeding of payment values? Like is there anyone this reminds you of in your own lives?
My grandmother was the same way. Yeah, she was the same way. She grew up in she grew up not having much money, so she kind of knew what it was like. And then now she got a decent house in a decent county, so.
Well, I haven't really spoke to my grandpa since he moved back to Maine like 8 years ago.
Like when you were younger, did you have any like, I mean, if you didn't.
He always pushed me to do better. Like, he's a veteran, so when 4th of July always came around, we used to go to Maine. He used to always ask me if I wanted to be in the 4th of July parade, so I used to be in there.
Yeah.
So he always wanted me to strive for my best.
Yeah.
Not getting in trouble.
Yeah.
I think I kind of let him down when I got locked up.
Is that someone you would like want to try to get back in touch with?
Yeah. From what my mom said, he friended me on Facebook, so.
Oh, nice. Grandpa's on Facebook, those are always funny.
Those are the best.
Once he heard I was doing good, he friended me on Facebook.
That's good. That's really great.
That's the only person, because when I have memories, so like he used to have this recliner chair, so every weekend when I used to go over there, I used to just run and sit on his lap in the recliner chair. We flipped one time. It was fun.
Just to like bring it back to the story, do you guys think that Matrona is properly appreciated?
Not at all.
No.
Do you think anyone in the story really seems to appreciate her?
The narrator. That's about it.
Yeah, I feel like he realizes only after she's gone that he didn't.
How much she did for him.
How much she did for him, and that he didn't properly appreciate it.
I think that's people most think.
Yeah. It's hard though, like once it's like past the time where you're supposed to have thanked someone, it's like, it just seems fake that when you're doing it almost.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking, I don't know, this past fall my parents came to visit and we were out at lunch and she was just telling me to like do this, this, and this, and I was like, I don't want to do that, like blah, blah, blah. And I like got angry with her and like, I don't know, got like kind of, overstepped what I should have said probably. And my mom, who's like usually very, very strong, just like literally started crying and was like, you like don't appreciate what I do for you. Like I literally, my whole life has been around like you and your siblings, like making you happy, and you never thanked me for it. And she just like got up and left. Like we were out at lunch and she just got up and left. And I just like, there's something I could do after that would be as meaningful as if I had done it before,
Yeah.
Like, I just like felt like this emptiness, like what the hell am I supposed to say here?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm kind of afraid to go back and apologize to my grandpa, but he's like in his late 70s. I'm afraid he's gonna have a heart attack from crying.
I hope not.
Yeah, I'm kind of afraid.
Crying about what?
That I finally came around. Finally realized that I could do good.
So do you think that they would be happy tears then?
Yeah. Yeah.
In this last paragraph, he says like, nor any city, nor a whole land. Like, to me, there's clearly like some impetus for him to like go forward and change his life and how he approaches people for the better. So that's what kind of like brings me back to like what we've been talking about with this like reservation of getting close to people, or like difficulty getting close to people, is that like, I don't know, to me there's something that can only be learned through that. I don't know if this even makes sense.
No, it makes sense. Like it's scary to get close to someone and be vulnerable to them, but through that vulnerability and that like relationship, you can learn a lot that you wouldn't have learned otherwise. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
I have a fear that they're just gonna turn around and like try to turn back against me. I always had that fear.
Yeah, and it's happened in here several times. I mean, like you tell people something, they're like, "Oh, we're not going to tell anybody else about you," and it's like they go tell like the whole campus, and it's just like,
yeah, I've had that too.
I hate it.
Very frustrating indeed.
This might be, I mean, like this could easily be too personal, and like no one has to answer it, but like, where does this like reservation of getting too close to people come from? Like for each of us, I'm kind of curious. Like, is there some experience or some relationship that makes you wary of future relationships, or is it just a general outlook that you can't really like put your finger on?
that's what it is for me.
General outlook.
Yeah.
I think that for me it's past like relationships. So like in terms of like boyfriend girlfriend things, my ex-boyfriend, and then in terms of like all my other reservations about getting to know people would be my mom, because I like can't remember the number of times that she got sober, we started to build a relationship again, she started drinking again, it disintegrated, and so it's like been reinforced in my mind that like it's not gonna work out. So like, why put in the effort and like try?
Just alcohol, or is there other drugs?
Just alcohol, yeah.
But at least in a correctional facility, like you're forced to get sober.
Yeah.
So that's
exactly.
a good thing. At least she's safe in there.
Yeah, she maintains sobriety while inside. No, it's really good. It's just maintaining it while she's outside. That's the tricky part for her. No, that went really, really well.
Yeah, that was dope. What a day.
Yeah, it was really good.
I don't understand how they just go back and sit in their cells now. Our residents consider themselves very reserved and don't like sharing and getting emotional. And that's like, you know, they admitted that to us, and so our goal has kind of been to try to break that down. I think today we actually got more personal anecdotes than we've gotten in the past.
I think it's no contact after the program and like maybe for like the next 5 years or something like that. So it's like if we wanted to, you know, like write them letters, like we can't do that. Which I personally find problematic. Like I understand their rationale behind it. Totally get it. Also, I'm not entirely sure if I agree with it. Especially since like Wesley and Justin said they don't like opening up to people. And now they're opening up to us, and in a few short weeks, Jack and I are gonna be gone. And like maybe never hear from them again. You just kind of wonder like what impact that'll have. Just reinforcing the idea that people will leave you, which like isn't a good idea to have reinforced.
We're running around the roof and the bouncers are like chasing them around up there.
Oh my god. There's a video and he's just like scampering. He looks like a little monkey or something. Just like be able to. Don't give her the number.
So one of the reasons that we read these stories is because to talk about Russia without mentioning the Soviet prison camps would be kind of like talking about American history without mentioning the word slavery. It would just be dishonest.
We can talk about like whatever story you guys want. So I'm curious to hear like what your reactions were to them, which ones you liked, if you didn't like them, like that's fine too. You have thoughts, I can tell, you're ready.
Yeah. Honestly, my favorite story of all was my first tooth.
Yeah, mine too.
Why?
Because it's like, it teaches me how to learn to forgive, which is like one of the hardest things. Like for me, like forgiving, I don't know why, but it's just hard for me to do. I just learned a lot because like many people may do like bad things to you, you know, and stuff like that. Like this man, he got his tooth taken out by Sherbakov, whatever that man's name is, the officer. And he ended up forgiving the man in a way, you know what I mean? So I just wonder like I've been into a lot of struggle like in Colombia, and I came to the United States like, and I suffer a lot. And I got a call from my mom, and she was crying, you know, she was crying. And she was like, I'm sorry for everything like I put you through in Colombia. And as a little kid, like, I started crying too, you know what I mean? I started crying too, and I was like, Mom, I forgive you. I didn't even know what forgive meant, but I was like, yeah, Mom, I forgive you for everything we went through. So even though like, I went through harsh times, you know what I mean? And I met people that are just like do worse things, you know, than you could ever imagine. And they do bad things to you, you know what I mean? Like you learn how to forgive, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I like that story.
What do you think compels people to go on and continue living in a way in which they are capable of forgiving people when they are faced with such overwhelming hardship?
So it'd be kind of an exception to the rule.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys heard like the phrase paying it forward. Like I feel like somebody forgives me, then like why would I not forgive some other person? You know what I'm saying? For example, like if I were to listen to my dad's advice, not hanging around the wrong people in school and stuff like that, like, you know, many things would be different.
Yeah.
So my dad forgave me for that. So I feel like I have to forgive other people for that too. You know?
But so like because your dad forgave you, you feel like you should like forgive other people.
Yeah.
I didn't like even honestly really think about that much when reading the story, but like now that you pointed out, I see like so much how the topic of forgiveness like is like all throughout this story.
How have people been to you guys about forgiving you?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, with like the crimes that you committed, like, have they been forgiving?
Yeah, I mean, my judge hasn't.
Yeah.
But I guess the first step was my parents, my family. They were kind of sad about, disappointed, and, you know, about that. Kind of let them down. But they got around it to, yes, thinking just like, made a mistake. My story isn't over, so
right.
I can still, got some pages left, I guess you could say.
Definitely, you have a whole book left.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Forgiving?
Yeah. People like, it started with my parents, and then I wouldn't say, then it went to me, kind of.
Forgiving yourself?
Yeah, like I
feel like that's
I'm still having trouble with that, yeah. I'm still having trouble with that. So I know I could have done better, but I had a choice, but I don't know. Felt like it was right, I guess.
What about you? Has forgiveness been hard?
Like me forgiving people or them forgiving me?
Either.
I didn't really expect anybody to forgive me, except for like my family. But I'm not expecting the victim to forgive me. He's like a grown man, so.
Yeah.
And I don't know, cause I don't know, if someone robbed me, I wouldn't forgive them.
For me, it's easy for me to forgive somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, life goes on.
I can
you know
tell
what I'm saying? Like, life goes on. If something, yeah, like, if something happens, if you do something to me, I don't care. Like, you come back, like, it's just like my mom. Like, I'll make my mom really angry, but I'll come back 30 minutes later and she's not angry no more. That's just how I am. Like, you do something wrong to me, you come back an hour later. Like,
So you would have forgiven this guard for like kicking you in the teeth? Yeah.
I mean, nah. Yes and no. Like, it just depends. Like, I don't know. I didn't know the guard.
I'm gonna forgive him, but I'm not gonna forget about it.
Yeah.
I'm
forgive
forgetting
and
about
forget,
it.
that's what I do. Like, really, you're not gonna live a happy life unless you can't do that. And you're always gonna be like looking for revenge on that person, or always when that person comes around, you're like, oh, how am I gonna get him back? How am I gonna get him back? I don't like him. When you can just be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? The past is the past. What's up? Come chill.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Right? You don't like the R word, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you get incarcerated. So you just say this, right? You get incarcerated. And there's somebody who is mentally ill. And you see an officer, you're just calling this man names, and making fun of him, and doing all that stuff. What would you do in that case? But you can't stand up for the person, because if you do stand up for it, you're gonna end up getting killed. And you say you do anything to save your life.
You gotta turn your head on that one. You got to.
What would you do?
But
Think about
you can't say nothing.
well, I think it like for me that touches like such a personal chord that like I wouldn't be doing that like analysis of what is gonna happen if I intervene.
But at the end of the day, if you step up and say something, if they kill you, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna do the same thing they were just doing to that person. Don't get me wrong, I feel sorry, like I feel bad, but like if I was gonna die, I think I value my life too much to.
I think too, like in these stories, like it obviously like the point was not rehabilitation, and like that system of just like punishment and like trying to degrade people, trying to put people into these really terrible situations in which like other people have this tremendous power over them and they feel like they can't say anything. If that is still the system that we have now, like something is wrong. Because clearly what's happening in these stories isn't right. And like if something hasn't changed, then like that's not okay, I don't think.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't think being locked up helps anybody.
You don't think what?
Being locked up helps anybody.
Why do you think that?
It's gonna make you worse. Like, it's not rehabilitating you. We're basically paying a debt to society because we did something wrong. But we're doing it in a bad way. Like, it's hurting us more than it is helping us. Being away from your family at such a young age is gonna hurt you.
Last year, when I was like attacked and I fought that guy off, I really wanted him to be in jail forever. And I think when you think about jail, there's no positive connotations, which is not true. And I didn't know that, and I do know that now. And I think it's hard to know that when you don't have any experience. Go and you just know crimes as crimes and the people who did them, as opposed to the people who they are, which has been very interesting for me. So, but yeah, my Tuesdays, man. I go home and watch a lot of rom-coms. What about you?
I learned a lot from you guys. Like, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot, like more about my life recently. Mm-hmm. So I think y'all helped me realize that I need to go home and like do the right thing and get on with my life and like put my past behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like I get really upset like thinking about leaving you guys and like not knowing. Like I want the best for you, like in life, and I think you deserve a do-over, a restart, and to like start clean. And I worry that it'll be hard and that you might end up back here, but like I also know that you have the strength to not come back.
Yeah.
And that you can't, like I believe 100% in you guys that you're stronger than this environment and that you want to do something with your life and you can and you should and you deserve to. And like you said, you lost all this time, but you still have the whole book left and it's not the end.
I went into it really interested in what they did. You know, on the first day of class, we had to write down, like, what are you most interested in, most nervous about, et cetera, et cetera. And I wrote down, I'm most interested to find out what my residents did. But I realized by, like, week 4 or 5, like, that wasn't really important because I could see, like, who they are now, and it didn't really matter to me what they had done earlier.
I mean, I kind of knew that they were going to look at us and be like, you know, I wonder what you did, you know, because I would wonder what I did. I would like look at them and just kind of base judgment on like what you look like you did, you know, and but I really didn't mind sharing about what I've done, because I mean, it wasn't like bad or anything. I'm just here for stealing stuff, so I mean that's bad, but it just wasn't like you know crazy, you know.
Many people come in here like thinking, you know, like some of these guys are criminals for real. Some of these guys got criminal attitude. But some of these guys just were at the wrong place at the wrong time, you know what I mean? And they ended up making the wrong decision.
But Chris said to us one of the first days, he said, you know, this was a one-time thing, like, but I've been labeled with this forever. That this was, you know, that this was my one thing, my one time, I messed up, and now I'm like gonna do my time and I'm gonna get out and be different.
Wesley had said, like, one of the hardest decisions he had to make was telling his mother that he was guilty, you know, because he originally, it was like, let's fight it, I'm not guilty. Of course I didn't do these things. He always left it very vague. And then when he finally had to tell his mom, like, yeah, I did them, we shouldn't appeal or get, you know, spend all this money because I'm guilty, was the hardest thing that he's ever had to do. So I think, like, that notion of them having to deal with the people they love and who love them, like, coming to terms with how it impacts their lives, I think is something that I never really thought about in terms of, like, someone who's in jail, but is, like, a huge part of, like, what drives them while they're there.
One of the last things I actually decided to describe to us was just in detail his crime. I think to him, his identity is almost at this point formed around the last 6 years of his life, which he spent at Beaumont, around the crime that he committed as a 14-year-old. And I asked him, "Is it a 14? Are you still that 14-year-old?" And he said no. But he's had to carve his identity around the mistake that 14-year-old made. I think it was just important for him to let us know that, you know, this is what I did, like, and this is what the last 6 years of my life have been in some ways about.
I think I was taken off guard when Kyle asked us what we thought of them being incarcerated. And then I talked to them about how I love my dad and I know who he is as a person, but I also know that he's made mistakes, and I see them the same way. I see them as people who have made mistakes just like I have. And I don't judge them for those mistakes, but rather they have kind of a clean slate in my eyes.
You know, I come home every week from Beaumont and I'm tell my friends, you just don't understand how amazing they are. They are, you know, why are they in here? I don't understand. They are incredible people. What is going on here? But then there's the other side where it's they did do something. I don't know, you know, I didn't know what those things were. But at the same time, that's kind of weighed on you because, you know, especially coming from a family where something horrible happened to my mom, I can't, you know, victim, you know, you want to protect the victim as well. And I can't imagine how those families would feel for me to say oh, it doesn't matter what they did. So in some senses, I think all of us kind of pushed it off and say, we're going to kind of bench that. But the longer our relationships have progressed, the more I've been thinking about it and the more I've been sort of puzzling over, how do I hold these two people in my hands? This person I didn't know before, maybe from years ago, who messed up or who didn't just mess up and, you know, did something really horrible. You know, I have no idea. And then also this incredible person that's sitting across the table from me who I believe can change the world. You know, how do I hold those two people together?
So Chekhov, when he was writing this story, he was dying of tuberculosis. A message of his writing is that there's always an opportunity for human beings to make a difference in the lives of others and to make a difference in their own life
What was like your first night here like? You know, like was it like the realities like eventually sinking on you, or is it just like you just kind of?
Especially when it comes to like crime and stuff like that, like, because we all know we committed a crime, so like we're sitting in our room and all we're thinking about is, yo, am I gonna get off with this? Am I gonna get caught? Are they gonna prove me guilty? Like, so like it's not even like him. Like he's sitting there, he's like, yo, I'm so bored. Like I'm pretty sure if y'all felt the same way. Like when I first got locked up, like I sat there and all I could think about was court. All I could think about was my lawyers. All I could think about was what evidence do they have and stuff like that. That's all I could think about. Like I found like stuff to occupy myself. Like I felt like the first night was like an hour. And the staff like keep knocking on the door that like when I first got there, they'd be like, you all right? You're zoning out a little bit. And I'm just be like, yeah, I'm good, I'm just thinking. And I'm just sitting there thinking.
It's crazy, it's like you think your mind blank. It's like you would think it's so much on your mind you wouldn't even be able to sleep. I had a normal night's sleep.
Yeah, I did too, for real.
It's weird.
It's like your mind exhausted itself by thinking too much.
Yeah, I had a good night's sleep that day.
You think your mind blank.
And I had a good ass dream.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I remember the dream
What was
clearly.
your dream?
The dream was I was on a boat, and then the boat had a pool in the boat, and I was in the pool.
Do you think that's where like your mind kind of wanted to be?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It sounds like I mean, like not totally, but like a little bit of what the doctor's saying. Of,
Like your mind.
Your like mind is like trying to go somewhere else. You know.
I don't know, I remember it clearly. It's like, that one day it felt like a dream when I got locked up, because I came in at night, so it was already late, like everybody was locked down already. So I came in.
Me too, though.
Yeah,
I didn't meet
I came
anybody.
in at night, too.
And I came into the cell, and I'm like, I just sat down, I'm like, yo, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to leave, and then I just looked out the window, I was just looking around, looking at people's shoes, and I was like,
It was your first time?
Yeah. My first time ever being locked up, bro.
This is your first time?
Yeah, this is my first time being locked up, bro.
So same here. Same here. First yours too?
Yeah.
It's really interesting to like hear y'all's perspective, because like you guys have had that first night experience. Like you can understand this story better than we can in that way. Like hearing y'all talk about it and like that first, you know, like trying to, yeah.
The doctor, he sees himself, I mean, like when you first get locked up, you don't see yourself like similar to anybody in there at all. You're like, oh, they're all in here. I'm just here right now doing me.
That's true.
You don't.
Did that hit you at one point, or was it like sort of a gradual thing?
I guess it's like a gradual thing. You fall in place, and you look at the people that's coming in, like thinking, did they think the same thing?
You kind of see
When you
yourself
come in, you don't categorize yourself with any other person. It's like,
yeah, you're right though. It's like you look at them, you're like, yo, they're institutionalized. I will never be like that. I don't care if I'm in here for 5 years. I will never be like that. Then now, looking back on it, I mean, like you know, jail lingo and like that. You know, it's like looking back on it, like it's like I'm institutionalized, but I'm not like so institutionalized that if I go home, I'm not gonna know what to do, you know. But I mean, like we are all institutionalized. We know what to do. Like if we were to ever get locked back up, we would know what to do if we got locked up, you know.
I think the doctor looks at it like he's still normal and nothing's wrong with him, and he's surrounded by crazy people and something's not right. You look at yourself different before it hits you.
And a final question. If you guys don't want to answer, you don't have to.
I'll answer it.
Why did he write this story when he's dying of tuberculosis? Like, why spend the time writing this?
You know, you ask us this question every week in a different form and try to act like it's different.
It's a valid question.
It's a valid question.
For every author.
They're all dying. They're all Russian. They're all depressed.
I think he wrote it so that me, you, and these other nice people at this table could sit here and have different opinions on it.
It's so big of a book that it's hard to keep track.
So you are gonna read it though?
Yes, I am. I'm about to check it out actually. I'm gonna start reading it slowly.
That's awesome. So you may love Tolstoy.
I do. Tolstoy's one of my favorite authors. 'Cause I got until April in here. I'm hoping to finish it.
One of the things that has impressed me about the residents is how motivated they are to get out of Beaumont, to change their lives. They know that something is dysfunctional in their lives. Nobody needs to point that out to them. They know that as painfully, as clearly as anybody. But what I've been inspired by is how motivated these guys are to get off the path that they're on. And they know at some level that they still have that opportunity.
As all of you know, today is our last day together. This is the last day of the Russian literature program for the spring 2016. And it's a day for us to reflect on our work together. It's a day to celebrate the work that we've done together, and it's also a day for us to say goodbye. So we begin with Patrick.
It's crazy. I want to start off by saying, like, I appreciate all y'all college students coming here, like, because I don't know if I was out and on a Tuesday I'd come here, so I admire y'all for that. But I wrote a rap, and it's like, Vladimir bring anything but Russian a bad name. And excuse my language, but that's a damn shame. It'll make you feel good to say you knew a boy like this, and I'm still trying to figure how much land I need on some Toy Story-ish. Dark feelings, now I feel the need to show it. This is my letter to a poet. Grand purchase from the world got me feeling like I owe it. On some I don't trust as far as I can throw it. I swear I grew up, and they bombed me as a child. No wonder I grew up. Small issues turned into a big problem, because they didn't know that was big enough to solve them. So I opened up my heart to question all the things you brought in. Thirsty for your love, but for your attention, that kid was starving. Like, Dad, can you part in yourself from all things that's distracting you? And I swear I'll be there to help with all those things that's attacking you. And that could be our quality time, quality lyrics from my quality mind. And you will see how much I grew away from you. That just investing my time. And if my destiny was dull, now you see a kid that's destined to shine. Or pick up a Russian literature story that I was destined to find. It's real. I'm at the point I'm doing things that I won't regret. And faking them out, I'm doing things that they won't respect. And showing them the dreams that I won't neglect was not so far-fetched. And in doing that, I'm putting price tags on all my bad choices to say I'm paying for everything I did. And I hope that I'm not getting too deep. But I'm building a mountain of my feelings, and that is getting too steep. So I'm venting these conditions to my UVA peeps, getting stronger in the land of the weak. So I'm playing for keeps. And Dr. Coffin, I appreciate you doing this. And I'm one of the people to say that I'm going to really benefit on everything you talk, start using it. And, and for my group landing a hand, you should definitely give Sam and Rochelle extra credit on their final exam.
I feel a mix of sadness and frustration with saying goodbye. It discomforts me that, in an hour, we'll be heading out of here and my new friends will be saying goodbye. It frustrates me that I'm never going to be able to talk to my new friends again after today. I'm mad that our relationships are only temporary and that they have to end. But I guess I could be pretty pissed off, but it's hard to stay mad when there's so much beauty in the world. That's what this class has been to me, beautiful. I first realized it when I leafed through Justin's notebook and read his poetry. I was overwhelmed by the emotion he conveyed and the language he used to describe life and love. I saw beauty in Wesley's faith, as he was always the first to empathize and forgive the very complicated characters that we read about in our stories. It was beautiful how Dakota would always be the most intrigued by the exact same passage that I was most interested in and would ask a great question about it. It's beautiful that I was able to talk so openly about my life, my fears, and my family with a new group of friends in a way that I can't do with many of my friends even at UVA. Although these relationships will not persist, I know the memories of this course will stay with me forever. I can't feel anything but gratitude for every single moment we've been able to share together, and I'm sad that I didn't get to know a lot of you as well as I could have. Thanks.
Forgiveness is one of the most important things that I experienced with my table, and I thank you for what you taught me. Thank everybody for what y'all taught. Hope you enjoy. Poem name is Forgive. Forgive the stars which didn't shine, though some did in my mind. Forgive the wind for its nostalgic cries. Listen, or that wind will pass you by. Forgive the clouds for their attack. In them are tears they can't hold back. Forgive the world for not loving enough, for we're just learning how to trust. Life is not intended to cause pain. Don't forget flowers bloom from all of the rain. Storms will continue to come and pass. The sun will always shine and grow the grass. Forgive the moon for not letting us fly, and the beautiful stars that burn up and die. Therefore, forgive the world in which we live, because I now know we'll only find peace if we forgive.
Words and language, I believe, have unique powers to transport us to different worlds, to the plains of Siberia, to the cells in a mental institution, to a ramshackle house in the middle of Russia. But there aren't any words that can bring us all together after this meeting back to UVA. There are no words that I have for how unfair it feels that some can leave and some must stay. There aren't any words for what I know I will feel the second I walk out those doors in a little over half an hour. So I turn instead to someone older and wiser, someone many might think we've heard enough from this semester, Leo Tolstoy, for some language. He wrote, "If then I were asked for the most important advice I could give, that which I consider to be the most useful to the men of our century, I should simply say, in the name of God, stop a moment, cease your work, look around you, look around you." I look around me and I see older brothers and younger sisters. I see fathers and friends and poets and piano players. I look and I see cooks and scientists and uncles and artists. And while I can't put words into words this community, this strange magic that has happened over the course of the semester, I feel very blessed to be here in this moment together.
I was gonna start off by reading something that actually somebody just sent me in the mail when I told them I was doing Russian Lit. It says, Leo Tolstoy, the great Russian writer, tells of a time he was walking down the street and passed a beggar. Tolstoy reached into his pocket to give the beggar some money, but his pocket was empty. Tolstoy turned to the man and said, "I'm sorry, my brother, but I have nothing to give." The beggar brightened and said, "You have given me more than I have asked for. You have called me brother. To the loved, a word of affection is morsel, but to the loved starved, a word of affection can be a feast." And I just want to elaborate. He didn't look at the man as a beggar. He looked at him as another human. I think that's how y'all came in here. Not looking at our setting, but looking at who we are.
The Russian literature class has been a great experience for me. I read some stories that I liked, some that just sucked. But what I liked most of each story was that I was able to take a theme out of it and apply it on my daily life. Growing up in Colombia, I didn't really have much money and went through a lot of struggles with my mom. My mom always told me to grow up, go to college, be a professional, and always chase the money, be a millionaire. That was what I grew up believing. But now I know that money don't bring happiness. Money's not everything. I mean, honestly, how much land does a man really need? Another important lesson I learned was to forgive. All my life I was forgiven, but I never forgive. I want to end by saying thank you to all for coming and spending time with us. And so, do svidania, sevo kurosovu. That means goodbye, and all the best of luck to you all.
Y'all can read them now or later.
The last meeting itself, in those last 10 minutes, you just felt so powerless. I've never had a relationship end in such a finite way. It's just hard to keep saying to them, this is how much our time together has meant to me, when you can't then say, call me or email me, I care about you, I want to know how you're doing.
You don't want it to come as fast, you be like, oh, yeah, we still got an hour. We still got 30 minutes. And then you look up, then now we got 20 minutes. So it's dang, I can never see, what can I say, what can I don't know, it was so fun. Now it's coming to the end. No more Tuesdays in Russian Lit.
In that last moment when I knew we had 5 minutes in class and I knew this was our opportunity to say goodbye, I felt like a father who was letting his kids go out into the world. And I would have never understood that feeling, more than 3 years ago, before Ian was born.
And it was sad to me, but it was also very gratifying that I think I left them with something that they can take with them into the world.
Yeah. 2 minutes left of this relationship. Yeah.
This is an opportunity for you to first kind of gather your own thoughts, to make sense of, for yourself, of what was really most important to you in this experience.
I don't think I realized like how much I needed this course coming into it. I don't know, had a bad experience in the fall that hit, kind of hit my first rough patch and just really struggled a little bit. And I don't know, this class like kind of restored my faith a little bit in humanity, I want to say. Made me like feel alive.
I think for me, growing up, it was really easy to put the criminal in a little box labeled like bad and wrong. And then coming into this experience too, after having had a crime committed against me, and also one against my brother, it's like they're people to me now, which they weren't before. It's sad when something that you've put in a box to stay safe from is made vulnerable, I guess. Yeah, exactly.
So George Bernard Shaw once said, "You have learned something. It always feels at first as if you have lost something." So when I hear what you just say, it makes me think of that quote. You've learned something. It always feels at first as if you have lost something. I mean, what you just described is part of learning is expectation failure, is when our assumptions and our paradigms that we comfortably attached ourselves to no longer work. Whatever those paradigms may be, and that's scary. Part of Ivan Illich's suffering is precisely that he had boxed himself his entire life into this. He was living in a box, in a very narrow vision of what life is about, and all of a sudden he had to confront that life is much bigger and more complicated than he ever thought. And that for him was the most terrifying thing of all, even more, as much as the physical pain. I mean, in some ways, for those of you whose assumptions were challenged or certain paradigms have been challenged in this class, in a way, that's been part of the experience. Learning involves a certain loss and then a rebirth of something else, some new insight, some new discovery.
For me, like the thing you said, you lose something, like I guess what I'm like losing in the process of losing is just like my confidence that how I came into this course was like what made me happy and what I wanted to be doing with, you know, my time in college and beyond. And then just like the lesson is more just like that I'm questioning that and I don't have the answer, but like I'm definitely in the process of like losing that conviction that, you know, this is what makes me happy and this is what I want to do.
You know, and here I am at the end of 4 years, like I'm about to graduate, and maybe starting UVA, I would be doing it differently, you know, if I started again.
I've like really been struggling with how to handle knowing that like Kyle and Justin like were in there for drug charges, and like they are in Beaumont at like a similar time when like my dad struggled, and like wanting to be hopeful that like they won't relapse when they go back out and that they have been equipped to like be successful. And so like it's like I want them to be successful, but I also know how hard it's going to be for them, and I didn't know how to like be real with them, and I don't think I was real with them. And so like in reflecting on that, thinking about like, oh, what could I have said to them? How could I have shared this experience maybe in a way that was like more formative?
Any other follow-ups to that?
There were times where like I would talk about my mom and they would ask me follow-up questions like, oh, well, like, do you go visit her? Like, do you talk to her? And like the answers for both of those are no. And so I was always concerned that I would come across as like hypocritical for me to like be here and like have the like feelings and opinions I hold, and then like I don't really have a relationship with my own mother.
Tolstoy said that, another quote alert, man is flowing. In him there are all possibilities. 1 minute he was evil, the next he's good. 1 minute he's stupid, the next he's smart, and the other way around. In this is the greatness of man. Man is flowing, in him there are all possibilities. And so what I'm hearing from you guys now through this really authentic reflection, poignant reflection that you're doing right now, is that this is part of what you're grappling with. How to look at the people with whom you've built these relationships as people who are flowing, who have good and bad and evil, and like all of us. In some ways, that's one of the deepest messages of Russian literature. How can you look at people truthfully as people with all of their flaws and all of their strengths, with all their shortcomings and all their virtues at the same time? How can you hold both of those in your consciousness at the same time? Part of what you guys are grappling with right now is just that. So you don't have to leave this experience just thinking about the guys as all good, nor do you have to leave the experience just thinking about them as all bad. You think about them as people.
Now, it's kind of strange because every Tuesday I got so used to the routine of like coming to class, you know. Today when I woke up, I told my roommate, I'm like, yeah, man, I gotta get ready for Russian literature. And he talked to me, and he's like, what? I thought you finished that class. I'm like, all right, I finished that class, right? I forgot. But yeah, so I got so used to like coming to the class, you know, and like, you know, getting ready for the class. I wanted to keep going, you know.
It just took me out of this setting. Like, when I walked into that building every Tuesday afternoon, it's like I wasn't locked up. It's like for the next 3 hours, I can live, I can do me, I can be myself, I can open up. And I mean, just a chance to open up makes you feel better. Because you get tired of locking yourself down all the time.
A lot of these stories really have helped me realize, you know, a lot of inner issues that I've been dealing with my whole life that I really couldn't quite piece together in words until I heard it in the story. And then it would say it, and I'll be like, that kind of reminds me of myself, you know? And I'll think about it, and then I'll start thinking, well, I need to work on that. And then I'll work on it, and then it'll just get better. And then eventually, it's just not even a problem anymore.
To be able to say, yo, on my Tuesday, I'm in college, but I come to a prison or a juvenile place and spend my time. So like, and now, didn't know like this connection to happen, but still I went, and then I spend my Tuesdays on this, and what I could be partying or studying, but I did something like, so I think that's very like outgoing and outstanding that people did that.
I feel pretty good about it, man. I was glad to be a part of it, kind of lucky, but it was beautiful. I don't know, it opened my eyes to a lot. Just, I don't know, there's not really a lot of words to explain how I feel about it, though, honestly.
My biggest hope is that they continue to have conversations like we had and to build friendships like we built in this course.
I want Chris to be able to spend time with his sister, who just adores, and I want to see him be an artist. He's an amazing, amazing artist, and I love to see his drawings on a wall somewhere and just walk by one day and just see his name on the wall next to an art piece. I mean, that would be magical for me to just kind of, I don't even have to see him, just to see his art hanging up somewhere.
Like, one thing I want them to know is that, like, this is something I'm gonna carry with me for the rest of my life. I think it's easy that for them to think we're just gonna go back to our lives here and forget about them and not think about them, but I'm gonna think about them all the time and just like always be hoping they're okay, and I know they will be, but
I wrote this right after I left class. Called Anonymous. It's free verse. I just want to talk to you again. Just being able to make you laugh and see that smile again. That smile will haunt my dreams, probably forever. If we meet again, I won't let you go. But if I somehow do, when we hug, we'll swap souls so that both of us will have a piece of each other no matter what. Then that's when I'll never have to let you go.